sport and RV show is taking place in the Superior Dome, and trade disputes continue surrounding China.
Charlie Edwards will have a look at our weather, and Mason Wallace will have details on Conor McGregor's arrest. Hi, I'm Jillian Wormlinger.
I'm Mason Wallace. Welcome to Public Eye News. April is National Financial Literacy Month, designed to raise awareness about personal finance and the need to educate young people on related topics. Northern Michigan University's Center for Economic Education and Entrepreneurship will coordinate on-campus events and is available to assist K-12 schools in coordinating educational activities. Money Smart Week, which takes place April 21st through the 28th, falls within Financial Literacy Month and was originally created by the Federal Reserve Bank in Chicago. It is now a nationwide public awareness campaign. The final campus event will be a geocaching for college cash competition. For more information on participating in these activities, obtaining personal finance resources, or getting ideas for other games and activities, contact the NMU Center for Economic Education and Entrepreneurship. And at the Superior Dome in Marquette, setup is underway for the annual UP Boat, Sport, and RV Show. It is the largest indoor display of recreational products in northern Michigan. Booths and displays will fill the dome, and staff will be on hand to give visitors all the information they need. Organizers say it's a great place to start planning your spring and summer activities. This is the 25th year of the show, which will start on Friday at 4 p.m. going until 9 p.m. Saturday will run from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Funding is needed for the plan to put an underpass beneath US 41 in Marquette Township. Officials say just over $100,000 is needed, and it would connect the Noquamanon Trail network's north and south trails and allow access to Trail 14. Marquette Township planner Jason McCarthy said, quote, "We have a unique opportunity working with MDOT and the DNR to have a safe passage for the highway for economic development and recreational purposes, as well as connecting safe routes to school," end quote. A GoFundMe page has been created, and the deadline is in October. And the Upper Peninsula Substance Enforcement Team executed 4 search warrants in Houghton, Hancock, Calumet, and Dodgeville on Thursday. The upset detectives came away with 75 pounds of processed marijuana, 45 marijuana plants, and money from the proceeds. A 28-year-old Houghton man is being lodged at the Houghton County Jail for felony drug distribution with a $30,000 bond, and more arrests are expected. If you have any information about illegal drugs in your community, please contact Upset.
Around 5:15 a.m. on April 4th, officers from the Sault Ste. Marie Police Department responded to a Holiday gas station on West Portage for a suspicious situation. Officers spoke with an individual who stated he was involved in an altercation at a different location in which gunshots were fired. Search warrants were executed at 2 separate residences in Sault Ste. Marie, and a sawed-off shotgun and a semi-automatic handgun were recovered. The use of drugs is suspected to have played a role into the firearms being shot into the floor. However, nobody was injured. 2 people have been arrested and are awaiting arraignment in Chippewa County, and a 3rd person was arrested on an outstanding warrant. And an effort by Clean Michigan Committee to make Michigan legislator part-time has been put on hold. In order to be put on the ballot, the group would have needed 315,000 ballot signatures. If the petition is passed, the legislator would only work from January 1st until April 15th. The committee says they will keep the signatures they did get on file for another potential petition drive in 2019. And stay with us after the break. We'll have your national and international news.
Coming up on Austin City Limits. Saturday night at 11 after Under the Radar on Public TV 13.
And welcome back. Flames continue to burst into the sky as a result of a fire at a recycling center in Tarrant County. Clean Solvent Recycling near Mansfield, Texas caught fire just after 1 a.m., causing nearby residential areas to be rocked with explosions. After trying to beat the fire for more than 5 hours, officials decided to let it burn itself out while keeping it contained. The surrounding area did not need to be evacuated, but area residents were asked to keep doors and windows closed until the fire was under control. And as the White House releases a few more details about troops headed south to help secure the border, Mexico's president is taking issue with the plan. Hina Doba has more on what exactly U.S. soldiers will be expected to do.
President Trump, while aboard Air Force One yesterday, spoke to reporters clarifying his plan to send National Guard troops to the U.S.-Mexican border, including how many will be deployed.
We're looking from 2,000 to 4,000, and we'll probably keep them, or a large portion of them, until such time as we get the wall.
Presidente Trump.
Mexico's President Enrique Peña Nieto fired back in a nationally televised message. He said his nation is willing to work with the U.S. on security as long as those talks are earnest and constructive.
De buena fe.
Speaking directly to President Trump, he added, if your recent statements are the result of frustration due to domestic policy issues to your laws or to your Congress, it is to them that you should turn, not to Mexicans. We will not allow negative rhetoric to define our actions. The Pentagon and Homeland Security both maintain that exactly how troops will be used will primarily be up to the governors of the states in which they're stationed. Hina Doba, CBS News.
A crash involving an SUV and a big rig ended with a massive fire along Interstate 30 in Dallas on Friday morning. The incident happened around 5:45 a.m. in the eastbound lanes of the highway on the bridge over East Grand Avenue. Details of the crash are still under investigation, and video footage from the scene showed the big rig's cab dangling from the bridge with significant damage done to the side of the bridge itself. A hazardous materials team was called to the scene to assist with the cleanup. Officials said that at least 2 people have been injured, but their conditions are not yet known. And President Trump has ordered the U.S. Trade Representative to consider an additional $100 billion in trade tariffs against China. It's the latest escalation in what could soon be an all-out trade war between the world's 2 biggest economic powers. Wei Jiazheng has more details from the White House.
Is the possibility of a trade war with China during a radio interview that aired Friday morning.
We've already lost a trade war. We don't have a trade war. We've lost a trade war. And now it's $500 billion in deficits and a theft of $300 billion in intellectual property. So you can't have this.
But the threat of a trade war became more real after President Trump announced he is considering an additional $100 billion in new tariffs against China. It's the latest escalation in an economic tit-for-tat. China has already threatened $50 billion of tariffs on U.S. exports, such as soybeans, pork, and aircraft. That came in response to President Trump's proposed $50 billion in tariffs on Chinese goods earlier this week. The White House called the Chinese tariffs an unfair retaliation. China says they are appropriate and warns it will respond again if necessary. China's foreign ministry said in a statement, "We do not want to fight, but we are not afraid to fight a trade war."
Blame China.
White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow says there's still time for the 2 countries to negotiate a deal.
Hopefully, this will have a very happy ending. I'm still optimistic, by the way, that the Chinese recognize that the rest of the world is on our side.
In the meantime, President Trump has ordered his agricultural secretary to find a way to protect American farmers who may be impacted by the Chinese tariffs. Wei Jiazheng, CBS News, the White House.
Malign activity around the world was cited as the reason for the United States hitting 7 Russian oligarchs and 17 Russian government officials with sanctions on Friday. Senior Trump administration officials say the penalties are part of an ongoing effort to push back against Vladimir Putin and his inner circle. Officials say the reasoning was due to Russia's annexation of Crimea, backing separatist rebels in eastern Ukraine, support for Syrian President Bashar Assad, and cyber hacking and attempts to subvert Western democracy. And after the break, we'll be back with your weather and sports. Stay tuned.
Next time on Soundbreaking, plugging in started a music revolution.
So I plug it in, I get it home, and I turn it up. It's like loud music.
It's audio testosterone.
The rhythm was dum 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 dum. Whatever the synthesizer could do.
It was like working on Frankenstein all day, all night.
3 episodes of Soundbreaking. back-to-back starting tonight at 9.
And welcome back to Public Eye News. My name is Charlie Evers, and this is a look at your local weather report. As you can see behind me, it is extremely dark outside. Let's take a look at our current conditions. So, here in Marquette today, it is cloudy with a temperature of 27 degrees. Winds coming from the northwest at 23 miles an hour. Barometric pressure is 29.93 and rising. And tonight, it'll be also cloudy with a low of 15 and winds coming from the northwest at 19 miles an hour. And tomorrow, it will be cloudy again with a high of 25 and winds coming from the north-northeast at 9 miles an hour. Taking a look across the UP, in Sault Ste. Marie, it is 31 degrees and snowy. In Manistee, it is 29 degrees and snowy. In Escanaba, it is 31 degrees and cloudy. And in Menominee, it is 31 degrees and snowy. In Iron Mountain, it is 27 degrees and cloudy. And Ironwood, it is 21 degrees and cloudy. In Houghton, it is 24 degrees and snowy. And up here in Marquette, it is still 27 degrees and cloudy. Let's take a look at your week ahead. On Sunday, there will be a high 29, low 18 and sunny. Monday, a high 34, low 20 and cloudy. And Tuesday, high 36, low 24 and cloudy. So the weather doesn't seem to look too great, and I also hear that things are looking not so great for a certain mixed martial artist.
Yeah, Charlie, Conor McGregor certainly got himself in some hot water. Mixed martial arts fighter Conor McGregor turned himself into police Thursday and was arrested and charged with 3 counts of assault and 1 count of criminal mischief after his role in a fracas that left UFC fighter Michael Chiesa in the hospital with a facial laceration. McGregor was held overnight and remained in police custody early Friday morning as he awaited a court appearance in Brooklyn. 3 matches scheduled for Saturday's UFC 223 card were scrapped because of the incident, cutting the card to 10 bouts. UFC President Dana White on Thursday called the incident the most despicable thing in UFC history, and McGregor's relationship with UFC will forever now be changed. And John Lester pitched 6 sharp innings and hit a tricky grounder that was tough to corral as the Chicago Cubs beat the frustrated and fragile Milwaukee Brewers 8-0 Thursday night. Brewers star closer Corey Knebel exited with a hamstring injury while getting some work in the 9th inning. Knebel clutched his left hamstring and fell to the ground after throwing a pitch to Tommy La Stella and had to be helped off the field. Milwaukee third baseman Travis Shaw also left early. An animated argument got him ejected in the 6th. Jason Hayward homered for the Cubs, who had been shut out in the previous 2 games. Milwaukee was blanked for the 2nd straight day after losing 3 of 4 since a 3-0 start. And Nicolas Deslier's 2nd goal put the Montreal Canadiens ahead in the 2nd period, and they held on to beat the Detroit Red Wings 4-3 on Thursday night. Antti Niemi had 23 saves for the Canadiens, starting in place of struggling star Carey Price. Montreal took advantage of the Red Wings turning the puck over, including early in the 3rd period when Archie Lankinen scored to create a 2-goal cushion. Darren Helm scored less than a minute later to pull Detroit within a goal, but it couldn't score again to extend the game. Montreal had just won 2 of its previous 10 games and will miss the second playoffs for the 2nd time in 3 years. The Red Wings will have lost 2 straight games in 15 of their last 19 games. They will be regulated to watching the postseason for a 2nd consecutive season after earning a spot in the playoffs 25 straight times. Well, Julian, the Red Wings didn't gain anything in their game, but I hear Maine gained an interesting animal.
Oh yeah, definitely. The first baby reindeer was born to a traveling Maine petting zoo and is the first in the state for more than 20 years. The Pony Express, owned by Ed Popsis, said the dark brown female calf was born on Easter Sunday and the calf's new name is Mistletoe. The Pony Express has the only reindeer in the state with 4 females and 1 male. And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you tomorrow.
The preceding program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV,